you see, it is Lagos, who is 3 years the junior of Ray Ximenez, the native here of Dallas.
And now, once again, live from Dallas, Texas, USA, 8 rounds in our main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it's go time! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an even and ready 126 pounds. He owns a professional record consisting of 12 victories against 4 defeats and 2 draws, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Wearing red, trimmed with blue this evening, and hailing from Valencia City, Bukidnon in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eugene Rambo Lagos. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent fights out of the red corner. He weighed in at 125 1/2 pounds. He owns an impressive professional record consisting of 16 victories against only 1 defeat, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Wearing white and pink this evening and hailing from the Pleasant Grove section of Dallas, Texas. Please welcome featherweight contender, Ray Valentino Ximenez.
All right, gentlemen, you got your instructions before the fight. Obey my commands at all times to protect yourselves, okay? Here's your belt right here, baby. Anything below that, we're in trouble, all right? Shake hands, let's go.
It is our main event, Roy Jones Jr. Boxing here on BN Sports. Ray Ximenez looking to get to that next step of his career. He's a prospect, but wants to prove without a doubt that he is a legit contender here in the featherweight division. The hometown fans are behind him. He has the style when it comes to his attire. Does he have it inside the ring against Eugene Lagos?
Coming out with local rapper Bonaside with a C, Bonaside. He's got the flair, he's got the pizzazz, he has everything it takes to become a star. He has all those intangibles, the it factor. He has a devastating overhand right. He's a smart fighter. Will he put it all together? He's been a gym rat since 10 years old. His dad's his trainer. And here's a guy, Ray, he's smiling, he's happy. Didn't seem to be too serious at the weigh-ins or in our fighter meetings, but really for him to take that next step against a guy like Lagos, who has fought all over the world, this is a big test tonight. Make no mistake about it, for Valentino Ray Ximenez.
Well, the late, great Hector Camacho Sr. is, I know, smiling with the trunk choice of one Ray Ximenez.
I love Hector Camacho Sr. I did a TV show with him once. He started doing push-ups on top of the desk. He was a character, and he knew how to make money. Macho time for sure, and a lot of Hector Macho Camacho, that flair, that style. We see that in Ray Ximenez tonight.
Well, you see already the outside foot of Ray Ximenez is there. He is a southpaw. Eugene Lagos, conventional fighter. And Lagos has ventured to Thailand, Mexico, and Russia, making his U.S. debut here tonight. Now training under Armando Flores. No relation to me whatsoever, but they said that they needed to make the change. It was about adaptability and a big move for his career in order for him to gain long-term success.
Yeah, and Armando Flores, his son, Angel Baby Boy Flores, had 19 pro fights, a lot of experience as a coach. You see that footwork there that Ray was talking about, but what Eugene Lagos needs to do in this fight, he's had a lot of trouble in the past of being stationary, of leaving his chin out there too long. Every time he started punching, he would stand up too tall, and he would go to the right too much. He would get hit. That's a big key in this fight, according to his trainer, Armando Flores, who, again, is working with him for the first time. And he said if Eugene Lagos does 50% of what we've worked on, he'll be much better.
Well, straight left that connected for Ray Ximenez as Lagos is coming forward. And it's clear that Lagos needs to be more the aggressor, has more thump behind his punches, and it is Ximenez who needs to utilize every bit of that ring and utilize his technical boxing ability in order to gain the W.
You gotta love a guy who started at 10 years old boxing in back of a junkyard, found his own gym and showed it to his dad, said, "Dad, we have a gym here in the back of a junkyard." Went there every day, all day, and just fell in love with the sport, and it's been a lifelong love affair ever since.
Final stages of our opening round between Ray Ximenez and Eugene Lagos. You're watching Roy Jones Jr. Boxing here on BN Sports in Dallas.
No cash, bad credit, no problem. There's a whole...
Here, Roy Jones Jr. Boxing on BN Sports. Final instructions from the father of Ray Ximenez, that being Ray Ximenez Sr. They said, you're doing good. They want more uppercuts still, is what we heard in between rounds, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw jabs, saying that Lagos is slow, but don't stay in front of him. They clearly respect the power of Lagos. He said the best thing about his dad being his trainer is that he knows him better than anybody else. He motivates me. He works hard. These are his words about his father. He knows what I can take and what I can't take. And then one thing that, as a father myself, warms my heart to hear, he said he doesn't want his dad to have to work anymore. He wants to stick with his dad as his trainer, and we really pressed him on this, because to get to that next level, sometimes you have to break from family members, even your father, but he's adamant about sticking with his dad, Ray Ximenez Sr.
Some hooks there by Ray Ximenez. Lagos throwing a straight right hand. They're engaged in close distance as the action picking up here in our main event.
Couple good left hooks landed there by Ximenez. But Lagos bringing the fight. You can see how tough he is and how strong he is.
But Ximenez is very crafty. Look at that uppercut, the blistering hand speed. The hand speed is, without a doubt, a big advantage for Ray Ximenez. He gets all 3 or 4, and Lagos is barely able to land one or throw one.
Yeah, and one of the things that Ximenez, even though he hasn't fought the best competition, has a loss to Christopher Diaz, which he says was not a loss. It was in his hometown. He wants a rematch desperately, but he has sparred with Olympian Ximenez, who got in his head a lot, helped him mentally, and then with Raul Martinez, who really hit him hard and helped him realize when he's fighting power punchers, he's got to stay away from their strength, and that's something he can really utilize tonight against Rambo Eugene Lagos.
Just over the midway point of the second round, Ray Flores, Jim Grieshopper here ringside. Great to be with you on a Friday evening. As you see Ray Ximenez using his jab. What I'm impressed about Ximenez is everything comes from the jab, and then he starts to mix in his punching. He's very crafty. He will throw that overhand straight left, and then he will throw some hooks as well. So he is very elusive, is the 25-year-old from here in Dallas.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the different punches he can throw effectively. Very rare, and this is why he's a main event fighter. This is why he has such a bright future, because he can do so much in there, and he's so quick. Most of the guys he's fought, Ray, have been bigger than him, so he's been used to using his quickness as his best and most effective weapon.
For Eugene Lagos, this is a big opportunity for him, as he wants to go and become a legitimate contender, and especially with his background. I mean, he turned pro when he was just 18 years of age. He already has a wealth of experience under his belt.
Absolutely, and if you're looking at Lagos, obviously very tough, very strong. Look at the guns on him. He is a guy who packs a lot of power, but the more he throws and the more the fight moves on, he tends to get more stationary. So far, he's done really well moving around and listening to the training and coaching from Armando Flores.
That's the end of the second. And now we'll listen into the red corner with Ray Ximenez.
All right? Too much movement with your head. You got to move a little and then throw. Right? Jab. All right? You got to jab some more. All right? Then make them react to it and then catch them with it. All right? Let them react to those punches. All right? It's good that you're moving your head, but you gotta throw something as you're moving, all right? When you're in close, if you're gonna turn right-handed, you move and you throw, all right? Work that body more. If you're right-handed, work that body even more, okay?
Give me 3 of them, 3 long ones.
Let's take a look at that good exchange between Ray Ximenez and Eugene Lagos, Jim.
Yeah, as his corner told him a little bit too much head movement, setting it up there. Nice right by Ximenez, so quick and coming right back at Lagos. These two guys absolutely deserving of this main event spot here on BN Sports here tonight with Roy Jones Jr. Boxing. Round number 3, Lagos and Ximenez from Dallas.
Well, love the featherweights 126, as we have mentioned during the course of the program, is such a deep division. You know, Gary Russell and, you know, Oscar Valdez. You have Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares, Carl Frampton, Lightning Lee Selby, Joseph Jojo Diaz is also there. So there are so many different opponents that Ray Ximenez can have dates with in the very near future.
No shortage of opponents waiting for him, that's for sure, and he's going to need to survive tests like this here tonight to get to that next level. Ray, we talked about this in our open. What does Ximenez need to do to go from prospect to contender? So far, so good in this fight tonight. He's pacing himself pretty well. You can see the quickness, you can see the head movement, you can see the entire arsenal. He's dictating the pace of the fight right now, which is exactly what he wants to do.
And also we saw that Ray Ximenez, he literally momentarily switched. He went from southpaw to conventional, and now he sort of squared up. So he is now in conventional stance. He has mixed up his, you know, stances here in this third round.
And one thing to watch as this fight moves on is how wide Lagos throws his punches. Those hooks goes very wide and leaves himself vulnerable to something coming straight up the pipe, maybe even an uppercut. So watch that as this fight moves on.
And now Ximenez is back to conventional. He's trying to walk down Eugene Lagos. If you would have told me that Ray Ximenez was going to be the one to be the aggressor and try to walk down the heavier punch in Eugene Lagos, I would say that is out of the realm of possibility. But clearly Ximenez has demonstrated otherwise.
Yeah, and he loves the overhand right. A nice exchange there, combination from Ximenez. And if he's been vulnerable at all, it's been to the body. Lagos should be going to the body more against Ximenez. He's the stronger fighter, more powerful. If he can start landing some body shots, he can start to do some damage, but he's not really taking advantage of any opportunities here to go to that body, which is clearly open from time to time against Ximenez.
A big right hand. Ximenez has gone to conventional, likely because he wants to utilize that right hand. He's planting the right hand right on the side of the head of Eugene Lagos.
Lagos lands a right coming back, not hurt so far, but that face starting to swell up a little bit. The head movement from Ximenez dizzying Lagos, who's now very stationary. Notice the foot movement has stopped. He's very stationary close to those ropes. It's exactly what his coach, Armando Flores, wanted him to avoid. There he goes, moving the feet a little bit.
And it is Ray Ximenez who's walking down and throwing a variety of power punches towards Eugene Lagos.
Money is like life.
Ximenez, he's gone to the conventional stance.
Yeah, he has. He's found something that works here, but look at how stationary Lagos is. The foot movement that we saw earlier in the fight from him, he's right there, a stationary target. Right there for Ximenez to beat on throughout that round. That was a big round for Ray Ximenez, where he clearly took control of this fight. We'll see the adjustments from Lagos here if he can go back, but you can see him here. He's on his heels, Ray. Lagos is really stiffening up as this fight moves on, which has been his MO.
And Ray Ximenez has gone back to conventional and is really emphasizing landing that right hand. And now he just squared up. And look at the hand speed for Ray Ximenez, the 25-year-old out of Dallas.
Lagos not going to last much longer, taking punishment like that from Ximenez. Has really found the openings and figured out a way to penetrate the defense of Lagos, connecting over and over again to start round number 4, just like he did to finish round number 3.
Well, Ray Ximenez certainly had the sizzle coming into the fight, but he is demonstrating that he has substance as well to go with his personality.
And really working the body now of Lagos. And that's true. You're going to sing it, you better bring it. And he is doing that here tonight. But he's really finding some openings, those body shots, and then you go down to protect that body, leaves the face wide open. Ximenez absolutely toying with Lagos right now.
He's doing exactly what he wants, and it is crowd-pleasing to the fans. And Ray Ximenez lives about 15 minutes away from here, and he is doing whatever he wants, and Lagos isn't making him pay one iota.
Lagos just got rocked again. Ximenez really aggressive. What a performance so far here tonight.
Well, and Ray Ximenez is demonstrating that he may not have one-punch knockout power, but over the course of a fight, he does have enough to keep you off of him.
He does, but he just got hit with a right, and then a couple seconds later, a left that landed for Lagos. So we better be careful. The guard dropping just a little bit for Ximenez, maybe getting a little bit overconfident like we saw earlier with Vasquez. Ximenez still has to be careful and respect the power of Eugene Lagos. He can drop him anytime.
Ximenez sticking the jab in the face of Eugene Lagos.
Leading now is Ximenez from above his right eye.
And that's a very good point on your behalf, Jim. And they will have to work on that in between rounds.
I was looking at it closely, trying to figure it out because it kind of blends in with the hair a little bit.
That's why I didn't catch it, and you clearly pointed it out, but that could be a detriment as Eugene Lagos throwing a straight right hand. Final moments of the fourth between Eugene Lagos and Ximenez.
I can't believe they charged me this much.
They're working on the cut of It seems to be under control as the father of three is looking to make a statement here against Eugene Lagos. Ximenez, the father of three boys, 7, 6, and 4, all of whom play baseball, while his father fights and is doing a good job of it here against Eugene Lagos.
Said his youngest son loved it in the gym for a while, but went back to baseball, and he's just fine with that, letting his boys be themselves and do what they want to do. But what I'm anxious to see here, we heard during the break, Ray, Ximenez corner telling me has to move his head more. He did get hit quite a few times toward the end of the last round by Lagos, who's very tough and not going away anytime soon. What I like from Lagos that I'm seeing here to start number 5 is his footwork. He's got a little bit more spring in his step again, as he was going flat-footed, going stationary a little bit earlier, but after the confidence-building effort in round number 4, he appears to have gotten a second win, and he's a different fighter here right now.
Well, he's trying to stem the tide in his favor. He's lost 2 of 3 and understands how important this matchup is against Ximenez.
Had some success against Cesar Juarez, landed a big right, stopped moving, got knocked out with a left. He's been vulnerable to the left. Ximenez loves the right, as we see Ximenez in the southpaw stance again, switching it up all night long against Lagos.
When if you're Lagos, I wonder, Jim, why he isn't, and now he throws a left hook to the body, why he isn't attacking the body. When you fight a mover and someone who has such a strong emphasis on using his legs, you've got to be able to take away those legs. How does that happen? By ripping to the body and taking the air out of his lungs.
We talked about that earlier. He still has not gone to the body tonight, and I thought that would be a big part of his game plan coming into this fight. He wants to hit that head of Ximenez, and that head movement is all over the place for Ximenez. Very tough target to hit. There's Lagos, landed a good shot to the body, almost like he hurt us. He needs to do that, start to punish Ximenez a little bit to get back into this fight.
It's no different than when you're playing a defense in basketball. The head will always move, the body will not. And Lagos can certainly find that stationary target in the body of one Ximenez.
Interesting that you mentioned that. You're talking about Lagos, but Ximenez told us in fighter meetings that he looks all over the place when he's fighting. A lot of fighters just watch the hips or just watch the head. He'll look up and down his opponent, but for Lagos, he lands a nice left there, grazing the side of the head of Ximenez, and Lagos with a big home run that misses. You have to be a little bit more technical if you're Eugene Lagos. You can't keep going for that home run knockout punch. Again, if you chop down the body, the head will fall. But it's a gradual process, and you have to build through it throughout the fight.
When Ximenez, his punch output has dipped, Eugene Lagos is starting to come on as we are nearing the 6th round. This one's scheduled for 8 here in Dallas. And we're going to listen into the corner of Ximenez, his father, Ximenez Sr.
Deep breath, dude. All right? Now you can pick your shots at him like the way you're doing, all right?
Relax, baby, relax.
Just pick your shot. Stay up top right now, because what you're doing, you're going to the body, and he's coming up top with the
exotic motors, be exotic with Empire Exotic. And Flamingo, authentically delicious.
Is the whole dynamic of having a father as a coach. Sometimes you look at it and you think maybe the fighter's a little, biased and not being served completely by having his father as a coach, but listening to what Ray Ximenez Sr. has been telling him in between rounds in the corner, he's one heck of a coach. He told him to stay up top, stop going so much to the body, because that's opening him up for Lagos to land those headshots, what he was doing in that last round. So that will then in turn, in theory, open up the body for Lagos to go to. So we'll see how this chess match continues to progress here in round number 6. But I think Ray Ximenez Sr. has done a great job coaching here tonight.
Well, they both have a great amount of respect for one another, and there is certainly chemistry, and it has built them to getting to this 15-1 record that Ximenez has. I stand corrected, 16-1 record.
No one knows a son better than a father, but at some point it can be too much. Shane Mosley, for example.
Absolutely, and now Lagos throwing some punches, straight punches down the middle, followed by a left hook as Ximenez advances forward.
The Sugar Shane was fun to watch, wasn't he?
Absolutely, so was Roy Jones. I mean, my goodness, we will talk about that later on.
Big win last night to close out an amazing career for the one and only Roy Jones Jr. But right now, round 6 of 8, Ximenez and Lagos in our main event from Dallas on BN Sports. Ximenez and Lagos kind of feeling each other out here in round number 6. Ximenez continuing to switch stances, trying to find different angles. I love the way he relentlessly attacks, always looking for new angles, always looking for a new punch to land from a different angle. That, to me, can be something. We talked about him going from a prospect to a contender. All those different angles that he continues to work, not a lot of guys can do that effectively. Very impressive is Ximenez in that regard.
Yeah, but Eugene Lagos, in this standpoint, he needs 70 seconds left here in the 6th round. He's got to really push it because he's down on the scorecards, at least to us from our standpoint, and he isn't throwing with as much regularity as you would hope someone who is from behind.
Absolutely, and he's not hurt at all. Very clear, his senses are fine in there.
Here we go.
He's looking for opportunities, but again, Ray, we've talked about it over and over in this fight. He is not looking to go to the body at all. Very, very rarely is he even trying to hit the body of Ximenez, as he does there a little bit. And Ximenez left his head wide open. Lucky he didn't get his clock cleaned by Lagos.
And this is the part where you see a prospect graduating to a contender. Ximenez was literally beating one Eugene Lagos from pillar to post, reminiscent of when David Lemieux fought Rubio. He was winning the fight decisively, and then Rubio caught him in the end stages of the fight. So this is where you sort of graduate into that next level in boxing. And that is the end of the 6th. We are going to go listen into the corner of Eugene Lagos and his trainer with his first fight together, Armando Flores.
This is time to shine, got it? Yes! Hey. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Check him out on Instagram.
And as we see, Eugene Lagos had success at the end of the round with his jab.
Absolutely snapping the head back toward the end of the round of Ray Ximenez, and that cut of the right eye. Perfect shot right there by our ringside camera. And I look at what Lagos coach Armando Flores said in between rounds there. We don't have time. Right before we switch to the other corner, we don't have time. 2 rounds, do what we say. We do not have time to waste, is what he's saying. And what he's telling Lagos to do there is put the pedal to the metal, continue pressing forward, and really throw those shots in the face and body of Ximenez. He does not have a lot of time left in this fight, and that speaks to your point of being behind on the scorecards.
But you know what? Flores wasn't chastising Lagos. He was more saying like, hey, look, come on, let's go ahead. Let's really pick this up. Let's close this out strong. Whereas Ximenez, you can tell, is starting to fade a little bit. This is where these very important rounds, and you're tired, and you don't have as much zip behind your punches. Your legs don't have as much emphasis pace and as much lift behind them. This is when we really find out, is Ray Ximenez truly an up-and-coming contender?
Landed a big right there, but Lagos has hit him twice with his own right hand and now a right to the body. Lagos with a couple of impressive shots. And a left from Lagos.
And make no mistake about it, Eugene Lagos is extremely durable and will fight anybody when called upon. That's why he calls himself Rambo. Aside from him like in the movie, he just has this reckless abandon that he implores at times.
You go to Russia and fight, you go to Thailand and fight, you go to Mexico and fight, you come to the U.S. and fight. You're not going to back down or be afraid of anyone. As a low blow there, landed by Ximenez. Lagos shaking up.
We got a minute and a half, okay? We got a minute and a half. Stay in the corner.
And we'll see if the shot was below the belt. It was right there on the belt line, but it did seem a little bit low.
No question about it. Right in the spot where nobody ever wants to get hit. Clearly not intentional. He came across with the hook toward the body. And if he's acting, he did a pretty good job. It was really close. Very close, Ray.
It was a left hook that hit the belt line, but it could have been low. I haven't been in there, so I can't tell. And Lagos got right back up and took about a minute. But rocking him is Ximenez. And Ximenez coming up. They are really picking up the pace here.
That left from Ximenez really rocked Lagos. And look at him coming on. Very fast and furious is Ximenez, but he's leaving himself wide open with this reckless style, and he's taking some shots because of it, and he lands another one.
A big right hand by Eugene Lagos. Another one. It has been right hands that have started to come on and find their mark for Eugene Lagos. Ximenez cannot get careless.
He did just a minute ago, Ray. Got very aggressive, very fast, dizzying pace, but left himself wide open. Those hands are low of Ximenez as we move on in this fight. The fatigue clearly setting in.
And Eugene Lagos is looking like a cobra. He's coiled up and he's ready to strike. The question is, he needs to strike sooner rather than later.
Lagos landing a lot of punches here in this round. Very impressive performance, has gotten better as this fight has moved onward. We talked about this in the open, and we've talked about it throughout the show. He is not going away. He is not going anywhere. He's going to make Ximenez earn absolutely everything he gets here tonight.
Ximenez looking to close the round with a flurry. And that's the end of the round. We will listen into the corner of Ray Ximenez.
Lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back.
Lean back, dude. Last round, dude. All right. Let's go. Go ahead. That was a headbutt. I seen that.
Last round, baby. 3 minutes.
All right. Last round, all right?
Everything you
can do this,
right
okay?
Here,
hold on.
Everything you work for is right here, bro. 3 fucking minutes, dude. Let's go.
All right. Just like I told you, man, smother the punches, and then when you want to throw, you let back a little, all right? Do not lean back, all right? Move to the sides or something. As soon as you get thrown, go forward again. Do not go back. All right?
3 minutes, Ray. Let's go.
And let's take a look at some of that back and forth action. First it was Ray Ximenez, but Eugene Lagos came back as well.
That was the best round of the fight. Both fighters very aggressive, coming at one another. These exchanges. Look at Lagos coming off, fighting off the ropes. He's all heart. Ximenez bleeding from that right eye, bleeding from his nose. He might be winning the fight still, but he has been in a fight. Make no mistake about it. He has taken some punishment tonight.
8th and final round between Ray Ximenez and Eugene Lagos. Ray Flores, Jim Grieshopper here at the Bomb Factory in Dallas for Roy Jones Jr. Boxing on BN Sports. Ray Ximenez looking to make that next step in his professional career before his hometown faithful in Dallas.
Ray Ximenez Sr. told him, and we heard it, keep coming forward. Don't go back after you throw. You see him bowling forward with that head toward Lagos, listening to the advice of his father and trainer, Ray Ximenez Sr.
Robert Chapo warning Ximenez moments ago to keep the punches up. And barreling into Ximenez was Lagos. And if you're Lagos, you need a knockdown of sorts because he's probably behind on the scorecards significantly. But look at Ximenez press the issue.
Yeah, and Lagos might have even won that last round. Very close, but Ximenez continuing to come forward. and throw throughout this fight. He is really impressive with the pace and the speed with which he comes at you.
And Ximenez is fighting just with pure guts and adrenaline. He was more of the technical artiste in the early part of the fight, and he wasn't able to sustain the pace, but he is still being very active, although he has changed his game plan to a degree.
Absolutely.
And that change in the game plan has been him fighting on the inside.
Work out, guys. Come on, work out.
And Lagos throwing a straight right, but going to the body and mixing up his attack upstairs is Ximenez.
And the crowd really into this fight. What an exciting matchup. These two guys, warriors in there tonight. Lagos and Ximenez, our main event, less than a minute remaining. This is going to be a fun 45 seconds.
It is a great way to begin Roy Jones Jr. boxing here on BN Sports with this featherweight affair between Ray Ximenez and Eugene Lagos. The fight, a riveting affair between Ray Ximenez and Eugene Lagos. Here at 126 pounds, they both shake hands after, and Ray Ximenez likely appears to have passed the test. And I think it's fair to say, if the scorecards are correct, he is now a contender and no longer a prospect.
Yeah, we asked in the open, Ray, you asked me what he needed to do to go from prospect to contender. He weathered the storm late. Lagos came on in those last couple rounds like gangbusters and literally took the fight to Ximenez. He ate a lot of punches, bleeding from his eye, bleeding from his nose. We see the toughness, we see the heart, the speed, switching stances. He has all the tools to take it to that next level, and he showed a lot in this ring tonight, and he sent notice to the rest of the division that he is making that ascent to contender.
And let's go ahead and revisit some of the action from what was an entertaining battle here on BN Sports. And it was all Ray Ximenez, as you see him just really using different punches.
Dizzying pace put on by Ximenez throughout this fight. I don't know how Lagos kept up with him so fast, throwing so many punches from different angles. Lagos kept on finding success, though, with some counters that he was able to land. Very impressive performance by both fighters. In the end, though, Ximenez, I believe, just did way too much, overwhelming Lagos with the speed. On the flip side, Ray, Armando Flores talked about the stuff that he's working on with Lagos. He got a lot better with some of the things that he had been suspect with coming into this fight, particularly standing there like a statue for too long in the pocket. Great improvement, but not enough tonight against Ximenez.
Mark Brado has the decision. We'll send it to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Bomb Factory in Dallas, let's get a big Texas-sized round of applause for these two warriors. Having gone the 8-round distance, we go to the judges' scorecards for the decision. Judges Jesse Reyes and Oren Schellenberger saw the action 78-74. Don Griffin scored it 79-73. All three judges in favor of your winner by unanimous decision from Pleasant Grove, Dallas, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Valentino Ximenez.
Ray Ximenez improves to 17-1, and yes, he did graduate to being a contender. Looking forward to seeing what the very near future has in store for Ray Ximenez.